Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, welcome back to a high level best of 5. Today, in the bottom right as our blue Terran player, playing for Team Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN. And in the top left as our red Protoss player, playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, is HerO. HerO versus ByuN in a best of 5. That probably means we're going to see some real fire, as HerO is one of these players that is just a very aggressive Protoss player. I love watching his PvTs. I love watching his PvZs, probably even more because he has such a huge amount of build orders that are all seemingly somewhat unique. He almost never repeats build orders within a best of 5. And he also almost never repeats build orders outside of the best of 5. It just feels like he has an infinite supply of builds that no one else does and no one else has seen. And for every single game that he plays, or every single tournament he plays, just pulls out a couple of new ideas out of the large hat and says, okay, today it's time for this. It seems like right now he wants to start off with a proxy Stargate. And with that fast adapt out, will allow him to deny the scouting of this Reaper. He's actually getting a pretty decent build order beat here. This is a Marauder opener, Reaper into double Marauder opener out of ByuN. And we see HerO starting with a Stargate. Exactly like we thought the moment we saw that third pylon, of course. What else could it really be in this position? But if ByuN is not aware of the lack of tech in the main base, it's going to be really difficult to predict this. But apparently ByuN does not have trouble predicting anything, because look at this Reaper. Look at where it's going. Well, actually, where is it going? Well, it seems to be going to the correct place. I'm not sure if it sees the probe or if it sees the Stargate, or perhaps both, of course. Why not both? Perhaps it misses both. No, it sees the pylon, just ever so close, but it does see the pylon. And yeah, now this Stargate is just in a lot of trouble, honestly. Yes, I don't even think this first Oracle is going to pop out, and it's going to be a bit of a race against the clock, because if that Oracle does end up going out, there's absolutely zero in the main base to deal with this Oracle, but Pylon is going to get taken out. This Oracle still needs to build for 9 more seconds. Triple Adept will make its way across the map as well, and this probe is going to try and sneak by. But ByuN wasn't born yesterday. He says, hey, I know this trick. I've seen it before. Just going to patrol my Reaper over here. I know your probe is somewhere around these ends. Now, at the same time, we get a weird base tradey scenario here, in which I think HerO is going to get a better trade, honestly. He will be capable of taking out 4, 5, maybe even 6 workers. Starts attacking the Cyclone here. And I don't think that is quite viable. Marauders, yeah, they're just straight walking into a battery with a couple of units available. This probe can be saved, it can be microed. It does get saved, it does get microed. As this Oracle will never see the light of day. Poor guy. Good start for ByuN though. I feel like denying your opponent's main tech. Twilight Council is on the way already. This Reaper will pop over right now to make sure that there's no pylon building. And I actually like this more than what maybe some other Terrans would have done. Other Terrans might have tried attacking this, but instead, this Reaper says, what if more probes are being sent out? Couldn't I just pick off the probe every single time? And I wouldn't make it as obvious that my Reaper actually is there. Now, this Adept Shade should be capable of getting the Reaper, and the Reaper just immediately gives up on life as it disappears into nothingness. Another Adept Shade will spot the tank. It's a good start though for ByuN. It still is. Although this Stargate might get powered again, the Oracle will be able to provide vision for the Blink Stalkers. I still really believe this is a way superior position right now for ByuN than it is for HerO. 39 workers against 39. Whenever worker counts are equal, that is usually good for the Terran player. Oracle tries to make its way into the main base, but it's just going to go for a revelation rather than anything else. Third base is almost done here for HerO, and at that point perhaps the worker count can be increased at a rapid pace. I mean, triple Nexi building probes, couple of chrono boosts on there could be very helpful, of course. We see a Fort Gate on the way as well as charge. Big blink forward here out of HerO. Will clear this bunker the moment he blinks on top of it. Cyclone goes down, Marine also falls. Stim isn't actually finished yet. Well, I'm not saying ByuN is in trouble, but he might be struggling with his defense a little bit more than I initially expected. So we now have a single adept in the main base as well. This Oracle is looking for kills, but not quite sure if it's going to be finding any major kills. We'll instead start moving towards the natural base and just kind of juggling these stalkers and this Oracle around, making sure to not lose anything while dealing damage. The worker count is increasing, the gate count is increasing, and we see charge on the way as well as a robotics facility right now. That means that there is the ability here for Hero to either attack or counter-attack into the near future. We see another big revelation on this army. Now ByuN still is up in army supply, he's going to have superior upgrades. And I like that his production is already all set up. The only thing we're lacking right now, yep, is that third base that should start producing at any point now. And indeed, here we go. Triple Marines in the main base. Not quite sure what their job is exactly, but I'm sure it's very important. And I hope they get paid well for it. As I would not want to be a Marine. Get killed by lasers very easily. Get killed practically by every single unit in the game except for the Zergling. There's not any other unit that you can kill. See all your friends being pumped out of the barracks at high pace and they never return back home. It's not a good life as a Marine, I can tell you that much. I would not want to be one of those guys in these small tiny suits. Marauders on the other hand, look at these. Bam, bulky suits, 125 HP. God, these guys are big. Love to see it. Alright. Yeah, weird little setup here out of Hero. Is going for just a straight up flank, it feels like. It's almost like a 360 surround, except not entirely 360. It's still a pretty large angle that he is taking here. ByuN managed to weasel a way out of it. Not quite sure how he did that, but he will be capable of escaping here. Another blink forward. Yep, that was kind of imminent. These zealots will try to connect with this bio army. Big pickup as the boost will get these matter of fact somewhat to safety. Blink forward. Well, very close. Hero playing a pretty sick game, honestly. I'm very surprised how well he is doing in this game. Now sure, ByuN doesn't really need to attack at this moment because he's up in upgrades, he's getting the extra infrastructure. This third base is about to land as well. The worker count is fantastic for him and it's not really for Hero. But Hero is really making a game out of this after his poor early game. This CC might be in a little bit of trouble right now. No, says Hero, I prefer going for the units. Probably the safer call, but now this CC does manage to escape. And I feel like there might have been an opportunity there. There might have been a window in which that command center could have been killed. We immediately see a bunch of these SCVs being pulled forward to repair it. Blinks towards the side, but the zealots were not quite there yet. A little bit of an awkward move there. None of these mines have shot, of course, with the observer vision. Could try and take out these mines with the stalkers. But I think this push has ended and Hero thinks the same. Double sentries at Home Templar Archives going down, 2 extra gases as well. And this will transition into a storm push. Hero says, okay, he's just checking the boxes, you know. It's like just going through a checklist. Do you know how to deal with Proxy Stargate? Check. Do you know how to deal with a 0-0 Stalker Zealot push? Check. And now the follow-up. Do you know how to deal with a storm push? And ByuN still need to check that one off his massive list. Because I'm not so sure if he's going to be capable of dealing with that. Supplies are still very close. There's 3 zealots in this prism currently. There's storm is being researched and it's about 50 seconds away from being done. I think that's going to perfectly line up with this push that ByuN is planning out right now. So we see a couple of liberators. This is a telltale sign of a Terran wanting to move across the map. And well, Hero has similar plans. He's like, hey, you want to fight in the middle? We can do that. We can also go back to my home. I have a big surprise there waiting for you in a prism. If you just wait, what is it, 30 seconds longer? 20 seconds longer, but he doesn't need to kind of stall for these 20 seconds. Big blink forward as well here. And the funny thing is that the fact that this prism has been around for so long now probably means that ByuN doesn't believe there's actual stormers in there. What is Hero doing? What? He dropped them without storm being done. He thought it finished, but it absolutely had not. He must have heard upgrade finish somewhere, or I don't quite understand. Liberator dealt a decent amount of damage in the main. Now starts moving towards the natural. 7 probes going down, and I think ByuN has done enough with that one Liberator. He knows that there's storm out as well at this point. Double libs being sent out on the map to start harassing even more. I mean, without the fort base being done for Hero, without any workers there, and well, except for these guys long distance mining, I'm having a difficult time seeing Hero win this game. I'm having a very difficult time seeing Hero win this game. ByuN's going to max out. He's going to get 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 ghosts. He's going to push out. Look at the amount of supply drops here. Holy crap. Kind of sloppy on the macro there. 4 supply drops already this game. Could have been a lot of money in mules, of course. Did not quite happen. 4 CC is on the way right now for our Terran player. As +1 is nearing completion on the side of Hero. Once again, 6 workers going down at the 3rd base, and a couple more will fall here in the main. At the same time, big engagement actually. I missed the start of that. Must have hit a couple of decent storms because this army looks very bruised up. As EMPs will hit the prism as well. Honestly, I think this looks completely fine for ByuN. Yeah, he's just going to be able to clean this up. And once he cleans this up, I don't think there's much left here for Hero. Hero on 46 workers, without a forward base, without the money to buy a forward base, without the worker count to saturate a forward base, without upgrades, without good tech. It's just kind of over at this point. We're just waiting for the armory in the 2nd eBay. We're waiting for barracks 6, 7, and 8 to go down. And that will be the definitive nail in the coffin here. For Hero. Hero just continues trying to push across the map, trying to do things. He's been so extremely aggressive in this game, but none of his aggression has truly panned out. He's tried so hard and got so far, but in the end it didn't even matter. Oi, 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 oi. It's very, very painful. It is, yeah. It's just not the Hero. It's not been Hero's game. Now I've seen him come back into games which were worse than this. I have to admit it, but it's very unlikely. It is just very unlikely in the current economical situation. He is going to try though, and ByuN actually kind of gets caught off guard with a bunch of the ghosts. Does land all of these EMPs. Oh, there's so many ghost snipes on the zealots. Now that's a rare sight. If there's enough ghosts to start sniping zealots, you know life ain't good for the toss. Ghost microing forward, more ghost and gateway units. GG gets called and ByuN wins game number 1 here on Berlingrad. A Terran map, but nonetheless an important win. Game number 2 here on hard. Wire. Game number 2 will be played here on Hardwires. We see ByuN opening up with a Reaper. Well, at the same time, Hero decides to once again open up with that fast core before Nexus. Recently, we've seen an increased use in the Nexus before the core. A lot of people just preferring the increased economy from that Nexus before the core over the fast adapt that the core before Nexus provides. Hero, however, one of these players that says, if it is possible to have any type of aggression on the map, then I'd like to do that. And actually gets a really fast Stargate with this. Must have pulled into these gases way quicker than is usual. I missed that, but he must have. There's no way you can get a Stargate at 217 with a core before Nexus, unless you sacrifice a decent chunk of your mineral mining in the early game. Which means that his eco is going to be a little bit weaker, but his initial Oracle timing is going to be absolutely fabulous. Reaper into Marauder for a 2nd time in a row. Oh, ByuN is playing a fantastic game. This Reaper control is honestly out of this world. He's gonna even get the scout. He's going to get the scout of the Stargate. That is a huge scout. Dealt a lot of damage. Well, a lot. He dealt a decent chunk of economic damage here by delaying mining in the natural. Now these 2 Marauders are gonna make their way across the map, and I know what they want. They want to find these adepts. Double gates on the way, and a Twilight Council will follow shortly, I guess? Or is this going to go into a Phoenix? It's also a possibility, of course. 2nd Oracle, also still possible. Now it's going to be a Twilight. Triple Adept into Oracle, not the most common way to go about it. We often see when people want to play Oracle into Blink, that they much prefer getting more Stalkers in the early game. So perhaps 1 Adept, 2 Stalkers as a follow-up. Not the case here for Hero, who's going to get his worker killed by these 2 Marauders. Oracle immediately makes a U-turn and is like, hey, something happened at home. I'm going to need to deal with this. As these Marauders basically sacrifice their life. And they don't get too much done. I mean, they're a bit of a bait for this Oracle. They killed 1 worker, but yeah, it's not worth it. And it's very rare that I actually see this Reaper Marauder build be worth it. So it is surprising to me that we still see it being used in such high frequency, especially out of ByuN, but I've also seen a lot of the other high-level Terran players use it. I know Time is a big fan of it. Well, actually, I don't know any others that are big fans of it. It's just ByuN and Time that play this build, but there might be more. I just don't know about them, or I haven't seen their games. It's very possible, of course. eBay goes down here, as this is actually a bit of a variation of what RYUN showed at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. At Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2022, RYUN showed a lot of fast factory into triple racks plays. And although this opener was slightly different with a Reaper and 2 Marauders, it does follow that same pattern. That initial factory unit, that one factory unit into the 3 racks. And RYUN had great success with this at Intel Extreme Masters. I spoke a bit with him about it during the Intel Extreme Masters, and he told me that this actually was a build that Maru had invented. He said, this is Maru's build in TVP, and I just use it a lot. And then during the same conversation, RYUN also claimed to be the founder of Ghost Mech, at least how we see it being played these days in Korea. He said Maru copied him with the Ghost Mech, and then some good jokes were made about that as well, of course. As Maru had great success with Ghost Mech, and RYUN mainly played Bio at IAM, but that's a story for another time, as we have an interesting game on our hands here. HerO, well, he has decent map control, he has decent map vision. Already popping out at Prism as well, getting extra gateways right now, trying to get as many units out as he can for that push, probably wanting to go for a bit of a counter attack as well. Gets another Revelation, needs to be careful not to lose anything here to these Cyclones. Does not want to lose that Oracle. The Oracle is the path to vision here. There is no other way to gain vision of his opponent's army or the movement. I mean, there are no pylons on the map, there are no units spread out, there's not a single observer. Sure, there's a robotics facility, but it's busy doing other things. Getting this Immortal, for example. So this Oracle is absolutely vital in the survival of HerO in this game. Now, ByuN wasn't born yesterday. He actually was not. He was born a long time ago. And he's going to keep a couple of units at home because he knows that HerO loves to counterattack with Prisms or with Zealot run-bys or with Adept run-bys or with both. Zealots in the main, Adepts in the natural. Shades in towards the main though. Very cute move here. I like that a lot. And I love that he actually uses these Adepts not in the army, but as a tool to try and pull some of the army back. Too often we see Protoss players get these 3 Adepts in the early game, and then in the mid game, I mean, Adepts are just completely garbage in an army comp, but here they actually achieved something. Sure, they didn't kill anything, but they kept this army back for a long time, and as a result, HerO has had some time to add these gateways, increase his army size, and, well, now even find this little army on the map. This should be somewhat suspicious. You see no medevacs whatsoever here, HerO. This should have the alarm bells ringing, but they are currently not. We see the 3rd moving down. At the same time, 4 medevacs hit the main base. We'll be heading into a little bit of a base trade scenario here. And the Zealots are dealing a lot of damage. There's not enough ByuN here at home. There's a crap ton of HerO. These gates still can be producing as the pylons have not been targeted down. Huge error here out of ByuN, not taking out these pylons first. This allowed for 7 more Stalkers to be warped in. Main base is being broken as HerO. What is he doing? He has 2 more gateways, which allows for at least a little bit of production. 2 more gateways on the low ground as well. He is currently supply blocked, so that production will need to wait until he either loses a lot of workers or he's going to just build more pylons, add them in. This is a fantastic game right now for HerO, who is up in army supply, who's taking out all of the production, managed to sneak out with a bunch of probes. Well, not sneak out, just freaking ran for the hills with these bad boys. He has 18 workers remaining, now starts a Nexus on his opponent's natural, and this should trigger the ever-living crap out of ByuN here, who really only has 4 medevacs filled with units out. That's it. That really is just it. There's a couple of SCVs, one of them carrying gas. It's not going to be too useful. You can throw the gas canister at your opponent and then shoot it and make an explosion. That would be a cool move if Blizzard would introduce it, but perhaps that's a little bit too late in the lifespan of StarCraft 2 to start introducing that now. It would be a rather major change. CC being built here in somewhat of a hidden position, but it's obvious to me that ByuN cannot and will not try to head in towards a macro game from here. Does not have the SCVs. He needs to kill his opponent, and in order to do that, he wants to take out all of these buildings first. That's the first thing on his list, his priority list. He says, hey, if I can take out these buildings, maybe I can do something else. Stalkers are looking to kill these. I mean, I don't even think this is necessary. I really don't think this is necessary. Just want to be finding the command center. That is the one thing that Hero cares about. He wants to know where this army is. He wants to know where the command center is. He's going to find it very quickly as well, by the way. He has a feeling. It's an inkling. His spider senses are tingling, and Hero has very good spider senses. Let me tell you that much. This guy plays purely based on instinct. These probes are being rather lazy, and the boss sees it now. He's like, hey, boys, back to work. There we go, we're just chilling. Nexus wasn't done yet. Calm down. ByuN's going to move in towards the main base. And this is actually the main reason why I don't completely like this one. Is because you do kind of create a choke here on top of this. I even think some of the patches can be attacked from the high ground. So that could be dangerous. Hero needs to respond very quickly. He needs to blink on top of this with his Stalker, or at least to the side. Yeah, it's just that. I mean, there's just too much Hero. Way too many Hero units here. Way too many Hero units. ByuN tries to drop it towards the natural base, but does not quite end up working. GG gets called as Hero ties up the series 1-1 as we head into our game number 3. Alright, friends. Game number 3 here on Pride of Altaris. So we see Hero with a scout and ByuN with a slightly different opener here that we don't see every single day. It's actually an opener we never see. This is one of them weird ones. This really is one of them weird openers, huh? Cybernetics 4 going down on the side of Hero. Double Rex Reaper. That will have to be it. On Pride of Altaris, a rather large map. It's not a good map for Terran whatsoever. Terrans often struggle with the gold. They struggle with the size of the map as well. Personally, I really enjoy this map against Terrans. I'm surprised here. First of all, that we see this map. That means that most likely Glittering Ashes ended up getting vetoed, or Blackburn. Now, a lot of Terrans don't like Blackburn either. Natural CC is going to be delayed by about 25 to 30 seconds compared to what it usually is. And this is going to be a triple Reaper jump in towards the main base. And it is absolutely vital here for the Protoss player that all of his units are at home, that there's a battery either in the main or on the low ground, and that the units are where the battery isn't. These are the necessary steps to deal with this small looking threat, but potentially big implications. If you lose one of the adepts halfway across the map to 3 Reapers, that would make life extremely difficult. This is not good for me. ByuN's gonna get spotted here, and I think Hero will know what's kicking off right now. Starts another adept. I wouldn't even mind if he Chronos. Oh! Chronos the gateway and gets 2 more. Chronos the warp gate and gets 2 more gateways out. Yeah, these Reapers are gonna try to head in towards the natural, but there's already adepts in position. So that's not really going to work. Now, the Reapers will get home safely, and I'm not a huge fan of the gateway follow-up. I'll just have to say it. It always feels like you need to deal a lot of damage, and even if you deal a lot of damage, your tech is so bad that it often doesn't even matter. Now, triple Reapers will move into the main base, and because this battery is in kind of an awkward position, I think that the right side isn't really covered here of this mineral line, which means that these Reapers, well, actually it kind of covers it. What am I kidding? What do I know about this game? Triple Adept will take out, I guess, 2 Reapers. Yep, 2 Reapers go down. Reapers achieved absolutely 0 here. 0 units lost. They forced out 1 battery, but surely that's not enough. The delay on the CC, the SCVs that you have to cut. Now we have 3 more Adepts on the way. That means we're going to see 6 Adept shade in towards the natural. The follow-up is a 2-1-1 style. It's a build order I haven't personally seen before as a follow-up on this. 2 Adept shade in towards the natural. I don't think they can finish up, right? I don't think they can finish up. Okay. He knows better than I do. Gets a pretty decent trade here at the start. 2 more Adepts pop in. Not the greatest control though. We even get some splash damage on there. Kind of a painful loss here for a Hero. This was not good. This really was not good. As 3 more Adepts are being warped in. But yeah, ByuN's just going to finish this wall. And say good luck with your Adepts, my friend. I have a wall. I got a jar of dirt. Except with a wall. I mean, standing at one of these, two of these workers. That's nice. It actually is nice. So HerO's dealing a little bit of damage on the worker count right now, and you might want to try to repeat that little trick. Prism on the way will allow him to start moving across the map with that prism and drop in the main base with these adapts. See if we can do something there. But there's a triple mine drop on the way. There's no blink. There's no phoenix. We have 3 stalkers in the main base, but these need to be in the correct position in order to deal with this. Reaper gets taken out, and I'm wondering, where is this heading to? It seems to be heading straight for the natural. HerO will find himself in the correct position, and that has, well, kind of lucky, honestly. Oh no, stalkers. Well, do barely spot it on the mini-map. This mine drop, oh my god, didn't decide to target down. Oh! The medevac, and now 3 mines do drop. 8 workers go down on the side of HerO. This prism is forced to recall after killing 4 SCVs. This is a good start. This is a good start for ByuN. It didn't feel like a good start because the Reapers did absolutely 0. But he killed a lot of workers right now. Is this a 4-gate follow-up? Oh my god, HerO is so wild. It's a 3-gate follow-up, so he's going to try and deal some damage with this blink stalker pressure. There's no no third base yet. There's definitely no fourth base yet. If HerO would be getting a fourth base right now, I think ByuN would be in a little bit of trouble. That's not quite the case though. Okay, Adepts try to shade in towards the natural base, but there's a full wall there still. 12 stalkers in towards the main. Can we get a blink? Can we get a blink? Yes. Oh, his blink is not done yet. Holy crap. Well, it's kind of awkward now that he needs to lift up. If he can get that stim, though, that would be a decently sized deal. Goes for the barracks, and that also cancels the stim, of course. Another tank moving forward. Oh, without stim, ByuN might actually be struggling to hold this. Huh. Kind of cute here. I like these moves. I really do like these moves. I wouldn't mind seeing a third base being thrown down. I think it's going to be on the gold here. We already see a probe in position. 3 more zealots is a possibility. Also, it's a possibility he doesn't do it. Look how careful he is here. I love this. He's so careful. He says, hey, I don't actually think I want to engage into this. I think I'm fine just cancelling your stim and clearing another barracks here. Just blink down. What's up? What's up? That's what he says. Dark Shrine going down right now. Gold as well. But at the same time, we have an 8 marine drop on the other side of the map. 4 workers are going down somewhere. I'm not quite sure where that happened. These 4 SCVs. But did they spot the Dark Shrine? No, right? Dark Shrine is in the natural. ByuN's never going to figure this out. Did he figure out that there is a third base yet on the gold? I don't think he did. Another depot drop here for our good friend ByuN. So these stalkers will find this medevac, and as a result, this medevac will most likely... Alright. Quick response out of ByuN, as HerO was asleep at the keyboard. Never sleep and drive, my friends. And also never sleep and play StarCraft. Then this type of stuff happens. I like this little 4 stalker poke. This is going to kill a couple of workers. 3 workers, loses 1 stalker. And I think it kind of pulls the attention away from the fact that there might be a Dark Shrine coming in. You know, I just have that feeling that this was helpful. I really do believe that. This definitely was helpful. There's no +1 yet, but armor also isn't done. It's always so awkward if DTs don't have the +1 upgrade, and armor is already done for the Terran, and then the DTs need the 2-shot SCVs. It's the saddest little thing. This stupid 50 mineral worker withstanding the powerful blade of the 125 mineral, 125 gas Dark Templar. You need 2 shots for it. It makes me visibly upset whenever that happens. Now, 2 DTs are going to be sent out. Actually, 1 DT in the prism, 1 DT on the low ground. I don't believe he should be entering the base yet. I think this should be done the moment that ByuN decides to push out. And I believe that is the plan right now. ByuN did get turrets everywhere. It also throws down a Ghost Academy. Double force on the way here for HerO. These 8 Marines are just awaiting their opportunity. So HerO isn't quite aware how close he is to major danger here. 2 drops it out. Look at this. ByuN is just setting up all these drops. HerO is waiting for a move out, but this move out is never going to come because all of the drops are already on the map. Okay, now these Marines do end up getting found out. It means that all of the army gets pulled away. There's a lot of immortals here. Another gold being taken. HerO taking the double gold here against ByuN. Surely this is not the way. I'm having a difficult time seeing that this is the best. I mean, ByuN's gonna get there. No, he's not stuck on 2 base. This is not where you're hard containing your opponent and you can do this. No, this is extremely different. Is DT, did ByuN spot this? I think he did. Maybe he didn't. Gets a scan. I think he saw the Dark Shrine, or he should have seen the Dark Shrine. Oh, now he sees these DTs moving in. He's like, oh, I think I have some scans available. Does end up scanning. We'll start to drop in towards the natural. Hero slightly out of position. So, we'll need to start dealing with this. A couple of workers immediately go down. Big recall here towards the natural. Blinks forward. Going to lose a lot of stalkers because of that. 4, 5, 6 stalkers go down. More stalkers being targeted down. If this medevac escapes, that would be huge. This is absolutely huge. Great little sequence here for ByuN. Losing 6 workers, killing 3 workers, but also killing a crap ton of stalkers. This medevac will get taken out without any major issues. Still think this is in range of stalkers if the stalkers position themselves well. At the same time, however, we have this drop heading towards the gold. 8 workers have gone down. 11, 12. Can we get any more? 13, 14. Oi, oi, oi. ByuN absolutely destroying the economy right here of Hero. We still have these 8 Marines. It is capable. Yep, there we go. Good call out of ByuN. We have a 5 stalker warping, but if all of the Marines drop down, even these stalkers probably will not be enough. 26 workers on the side of Hero have fallen right now. And even with double golds, if you're mining 13 workers per gold, that's not going to be enough for a good eco. However, his army is massive. EMPs are not being used in time and not on top of the sentries. Oh my god, these immortals absolutely ripping through ByuN's army here. 1-1 finishes up just after this fight started. Good mind dodges there with the immortal pickups. 14, 15, 17 workers going down on the side of ByuN. But the bio army is just a little bit too large for now. Oi, 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 oi. More immortals moving forward. Quick reinforcement point here. More stalkers moving in. Blink forward as well. ByuN in a bit of trouble, perhaps. This DT is going to get scanned down. The 3 immortals providing the backbone for this Protoss army will be capable of holding for now. The Prism dies. Huge error out of Hero. Cannot save these immortals anymore, and with all the immortals gone, the main DPS of this army has now disappeared. Mules coming off the line to help as well. Of course, they can't fight, but they're there for the mental support. So this army gets completely cleaned up. ByuN will position 1 tank here behind this mineral line, but there's only 3 workers mining from this base. This gold will provide a lot of value right now for Hero. It still has a decent amount of minerals as well. His natural is practically empty. He's not building any extra workers at this point. ByuN is just ripping through this Protoss army. Turret being constructed in the natural base here for ByuN. I think ByuN realizes that he doesn't need to do too much. Is there blink on these DTs? Yes, there is, but it doesn't really matter if it's off cooldown. I think 1 more scan is going to be viable. EMP was still providing some vision on these DTs, removing the cloak, of course. Oh, good lord. What a tight game this has been so far. An absolutely insane game. Double golds into DT squads. 9 DTs with blink currently. Need to get something done though. They absolutely are forced to get something done. You actually see Hero outmining his opponent currently. If you can take out these depots, that will mean absolutely nothing for this game, as there's plenty of supply available. It's an interesting call to go for the depots. I'll give him that. Stalkers in the middle of the map trying to delay this move out, this push out, because the actual army of Hero is not an army that can fight what ByuN brings to the table here. There's just too many EMPs. Well, actually that first EMP misses. 2 more EMPs remaining. Big scan. I think ByuN is aware of this incoming flank. It's a big EMP once again. No Guardian Shield available, which means that these units are just going to absolutely melt in front of this bio army. Scan gets used as well. The bio army survives and this fort base will get taken out. Oi, Hero. It's time to go, my friend. 4 Marines make it into your mineral line as well. GG gets skulled as ByuN wins game number 3, puts himself on match point. We'll be heading into the potentially final game of this best of 5. And here in game number 4 between Hero and ByuN, we start with a low ground wall. And with that low ground wall, Hero will be allowed to march across the map a whole lot faster. If this does not get spotted by ByuN, this could be a big deal. But if it does get spotted, and well, this is a really quick SCV scout, by the way. It's an 18 supply SCV scout. this is considered to be one of the most safe scouts in all of PvP, and is one we don't see very often. Most Terrans prefer sending their SCV after their barracks finishes, but ByuN actually wanting to go for a quick scout, wants to know what's going on. It makes sense, because Hero is a player that likes to dial up the aggression once he's down. And with that low ground wall, it seems to be the case. How much gas has he mined so far? Once again, a decent amount of gas has already been mined. I have to admit, this kind of feels like we're already going into a Stargate build from here. I just don't quite see what this low ground wall is going to achieve. I'll have to wait and see, I guess. But I don't even think he can rally his first adept across the map, because there's going to be a Reaper out. It will be a Reaper into Tech Lab, and thus a Marauder will make its way on the map as well. Tech Lab only takes 18 seconds to build, so way faster than a Reactor, which is generally quite good here for Terran. And that means that any adept that doesn't make its way across the map will be stopped by that Marauder. Concussive shells on the way as well. And I think the moment this target gets spotted, you cancel Concussive, right? And you maybe even cancel the Marauder here? Or I'm not entirely sure what the point is in this case. Yeah. Okay, so he cancels Concussive, throws down the factory, and then you continue. Okay, yeah. You get a Reactor on the barracks, add a couple of extra barracks, single Cyclone out. So you kind of go into that single factory triple Rex style that I was talking about earlier. But you don't really commit to the Marauders, because the Marauders are just completely useless against any type of Stargate. Perhaps against Phoenix it might be okay, but against Oracle it's going to be completely useless. That is indeed going to be the case. Now the Marauder still provides some type of defensive help against a triple Adept plus Oracle attack, right? The Marauder is going to be capable of tanking a bunch of Adept shots, while maybe Marines are shooting at something else. So that will be helpful. We see the Cyclone is on the way already as well. This Reaper is continuing to try and figure things out. If this Reaper can just spot anything, whether that is the fact that it's the second Oracle, the lack of any extra gateways, the lack of a Twilight Council, all of these things would be huge, absolutely massive here for ByuN to figure out, but ByuN does not quite get it. He does not see it. And I think Hero is just going to use a single Revelation here with this Oracle. The way that he's flying makes me believe that. Throws down the Revelation, sees the triple Rex, and he'll know what's coming for him. He'll understand exactly what his position will be. We'll stop at 2 Oracles, at least that's what it seems like. The Nexus before the extra gateways as well. So this is a delayed blink opener with double Oracle for extra map control, the potential to do extra damage, the potential to throw down a lot of stasis wards. If you only have a single Oracle, one of the issues is that you're constantly using it to revelate, and you don't end up having any energy left over for any of the other fun spells, like your Pulsar Beam or your Stasis Traps. That is not going to be the case here, because there's double Oracles up. He's actually following this up with Charge. I like this. I like this a lot even. This is something we almost never see. Double Oracle into Phoenix into Charge. And this is so Hero-esque. This is exactly what we would expect out of him. Just kind of, it's an offbeat build. It is something we do not see, something we do not hear of until Hero plays it. And the reason why we don't see this too often is because it just doesn't have that much catch. He is building Phoenixes with this, but they are very delayed Phoenixes. So any type of early mine pressure would have been capable of dealing a lot of damage. But who is crazy enough to move across the map with a Widow Mine drop while your opponent opened up with a Stargate? There are not many Terrans who do that. And of course, Hero also knew that it was 3 racks and not a quick starport. So for him, this is completely safe as well. I actually really like this follow-up, and it makes a lot of sense. We see the Forge being thrown down already as well. And then with Stasis Wards on the map, with the ability to perhaps proxy a gateway over here or a gateway over here, you have counterattack possibilities. You can go up to a very high worker count and stay on a gate count of 8, I guess. It's going to be the plan for now. You have sentries out already as well. And now the question is, will we see something like what Zest has been doing, where the moment ByuN moves out, Zealots will start running in towards your natural? Or is Hero going to go for a big defensive play in which he wants to really destroy this push and kind of from that position set up a counterattack with gateways or pylons on either side. He's going quite heavy on the workers right now. He needs to be careful. He still needs to hold first. This sometimes happens whenever you play Phoenix charge lot styles, is that you're so focused on your counterattack that you can't actually defend the initial push. And this could become a realistic worry right now here for Hero. Because, well, let's face it, his army kind of sucks. One Marine is going to sacrifice himself for the greater good. Dumbledore would have been proud. And you're gonna need a couple more Marines to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. No Harry Potter in this game. There's still a couple of stasis wars around. Ooh, I think that got spotted. Yep, that did get spotted. This one also gets spotted ahead of time. Another Marine goes in. Poof! So the rest of the army provides some needed backup. Here comes the counterattack. This will force ByuN to kind of play his hand right now. It's like, hey, you need to show what you got, ByuN. You need to start moving forward. Super Battery will win a bit of time. Lots of energy on these sentries will allow for force fields. But this army actually just sneaks into a fantastic position. Lots of workers are going to be falling here. At the same time, 10 workers have already gone down on the side of ByuN as well. Oh, but 13 workers. This natural base is just dead. There's no way that Hero saves this. I can't believe it. Well, the recall does go through, and I think this army will get cleaned up, but 11 workers down on the side of ByuN. 15 probes have fallen. The problem just being that the Nexus also is down, which delays the rebuilding of the workers and also means that these workers will not have a place to mine. That Oracle gets targeted down there in the last second. Great target fire out of ByuN, truly. So another Phoenix also goes down. Really fabulous target fire. Double gates on both sides, well, single gates, one on each side, will provide some way of backing up a push, but Hero just doesn't have the army to really push with here. At least I am not seeing it. I am not seeing the potential for a push here. Hero thinks different. He starts marching across the map. These Phoenixes trying to deal some damage. There's a lot of mines here in this army. This is pure Zealot Phoenix. A couple of sentries mixed in. I don't know. I actually do not know. Double mines dealing well with these Phoenixes as well. 2 Phoenixes do end up falling. Another Marauder might get picked off. No. Seems to have priority here for these Widow mines. Wanting to wait for any more mines to pop out. Phoenixes need to be very careful when they're maneuvering around the opponent's main base. And as long as the Widow mine count keeps growing, Hero is going to remain in a crap position and will be incapable of attacking into this. Ghost Academy going down as well, which means that once Ghosts are out, Ghost Mine against Phoenix Charge Lot, like, that is a fight that you do not want to be fighting as a Protoss. Absolutely not. Archon's here though, before anything gets popped out. Oracle might be capable. Yep, there we go. Lifts on the Phoenix. 1, 2. One of them will hit on that Oracle, or maybe on one of the Phoenix. I didn't quite see it. At the same time, oh, this mine drop gets F2'd back home. Big mistake out of ByuN, who will lose a lot of workers here. Still has a decent chunk of army as well. Drop once again going back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hero not paying attention. Big mine hits at home as well. Will ensure that these Zealots will not be capable of staying alive for too much longer. Only 7 workers going down. Is there a... Where's the rest of these mines? Oh, I think he got F2'd again. As now we have another mine shot, only hitting a single one. I didn't even know that was possible. Gets the sentry, boop. 2 more workers as well. So 17 workers for 2 workers. Orbital Command stays alive. 47 against 48 total right now in the worker count. The upgrades are completely equal. And the tech is slightly favoring ByuN right now. Hero is going to continue his attacking rampage. Just continuously putting pressure on his opponent. I still don't think this is going to be super viable. There's 2 mines here. There are EMPs ready. 3 EMPs, a 4th EMP on the way. Archons will disappear. They will melt like butter. Oi, 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 oi. Good kiting as well. And Hero, you need to retreat right now. He's going to go in for it one more time. Force fields do not completely close off behind ByuN. But ByuN is not planning of actually running away. He says, oh, you try to cut off the back. You try to cut off my retreat. I'll just move forward then and kill absolutely everything. Hero in a world of trouble right now. Only thing remaining are these 5 Phoenixes against a 54 supply army out of ByuN. We now see another warp in, couple of Zealots, couple of Templar as well, but these Zealots are gonna get caught. 2-3 Zealots will fall before getting back home, as this gateway is going to get cleaned up. The Phoenixes don't even have the energy for anything, as they are very close to falling as well. Low on shields, actually no shields whatsoever, low on HP. And I think right now for ByuN, the only thing that matters is that he just doesn't take an absolutely atrocious fight. Like, he can take bad fights, but it can't be complete garbage. A bad fight is okay. This is a good start for Hero. Gets a couple of units for free. Fort base is on the way already. There's so much stuff here for ByuN. ByuN's rich as well, by the way. He'd been floating a little bit earlier. I noticed it, but I didn't want to mention it. 2 medevacs are here with his army. 3rd one on the way. He does need to be somewhat careful and needs to start kiting back. But yeah, these Zealots just can't get the surface area that they need. ByuN's control is just too good for this. This doesn't work against ByuN, not if you're this far behind. Couple of EMPs on these Archons will make short work of those as well. Stim forward to clear that Archon perhaps. No, ByuN is patient. He says, I actually want to heal up my army for a bit. Maybe wait for more medevacs. At the same time, we have a Zealot run by in towards the 3rd base. 4 workers will go down. 4th base is being thrown down as well here for Hero, who's only on 60 workers. He just doesn't have the units here. He just does not have the units, even with a super battery, even with these Archons being instantly healed. It is not going to be it. Everything dies, and ByuN says, alright, that's going to be it, buddy. It's time for you to leave right now. So the Zealots at the 3rd base are disappearing. GG gets called. ByuN wins the series 3-1, and that leaves us with no more games for today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye.